The Invincible universe is vast, dangerous, and wildly unpredictable. From the Viltrum Empire to galactic threats like Battle Beast, it has incredibly strong characters. But what happens if the Invincible universe was faced with a Saiyan invasion? Today, I'll be answering that question and an even more important one hiding within it. First things first, before we begin the Saiyan invasion, we need to know who the Saiyans are. The Saiyans are a warlike alien race known for their combat instincts, brutal nature, and incredible potential for growth through battle.
The Saiyans lived in primitive fashion. They were much larger in size. Another was their brutal and violent nature. They loved to fight.
Originally, the Saiyans come from a planet called Sadala, but it was destroyed due to infighting and they migrated to planet Plant. This new place was already inhabited by another species called Tuffles. These creatures were evolved, had advanced technology, and lived in organized cities. That didn't last long though. The Saiyans eventually waged war and they successfully conquered the planet to make it their own. They named it Planet Vegeta after their king. So, the Saiyans do have a history of invasion. As the sole inhabitants of the land, the Saiyans served under King Cold and the Planet Trade Organization. But the entire planet changed when the reins were passed onto their heir, Frieza. The new ruler quickly noted that the Saiyans loved fighting and that they were incredibly strong. This was perfect for Frieza because his dream was to rule the entire universe. So the planet was transformed into a military base and the Saiyans were on a path to become exactly like the Viltrum Empire.
It's been a long time, King Vegeta. It's an honor to have you here, great King Cold.
But their story goes very differently. Because the power level of the Saiyans was constantly growing, it was hard for Frieza to keep them under his thumb. Eventually, an uprising was bound to happen. So before it did, Frieza destroyed the planet along with its inhabitants. And the Saiyans race was successfully wiped out. Luckily, a few of the Saiyans survived.
Kakarot, it's up to you. You must avenge the Saiyans and Planet Vegeta.
They were all away from Planet Vegeta for one reason or another, and were unscathed. Now that we know about the Saiyan race as a whole, let's talk about their survivors. Broly, Goku, Vegeta, and Tarbell. Though Nappa and Raditz are also survivors, they do get killed later in the show, so we'll be excluding them today. We also won't keep Tarbell in the lineup as he's nowhere close to the others in terms of strength. The ones we are including are incredibly powerful and bring value to the invasion team. Starting off with the protagonist of the Dragon Ball series, let's discuss Goku. Goku was sent to Earth as a baby. His mission was to destroy the planet from within, but because of a serious head injury, he lost his memories and grew up a carefree child. He was found and raised by Grandpa Gohan, who loved and cared for Goku as his own. Unaware of his lineage and mission, Goku grew up pure-hearted and kind. Not only that, but he was also a prodigy. He mastered martial arts, how to fly, and even his signature move, Kamehameha, as a kid. But this blissful life came to an end when Goku's brother Raditz came to Earth. He told Goku about his genealogy and his mission. Together, they had to prepare Earth for sail. Goku strongly opposed this and fought Raditz. Though he ends up losing that battle, Goku goes on to become one of the strongest Saiyans. In fact, he's the first one in 1,000 years to transform into the fabled Super Saiyan.
I won't let you get away with this!
His super strength, speed, durability, and combat skills make him one to watch out for. Eventually, he even develops other Super Saiyan transformations. But the thing that makes Goku extremely deadly is his Ultra Instinct. It's not a transformation, but a state of being. In this form, he fights without thinking. His movements become flawless and fluid without draining any energy. This allows him to neutralize enemies before they even attack. It gives him godlike speed, precision, and defense. Very much like Goku, the next member of the invasion team is a child prodigy. His name is Vegeta. Born as a prince, he was able to show tremendous power even by the standards of first-class warriors. He's a tactical fighter. His technique is self-taught, deadly, and better than his father's, who was previously the strongest Saiyan ever. Vegeta is brutal and intelligent. His goal is to become the strongest fighter in the universe and avenge his people's destruction. He is prideful and egotistical, but he does back it up when it matters with his power and skill. One of his attacks, called Gallic Gun, is comparable to Goku's Kamehameha. Another attack Vegeta uses is Final Flash, an extremely strong finishing move.
Let's go! Final Flash!
Similar to Goku, he also has multiple Super Saiyan transformations, but his alter ego is his deadliest form. In this state, Vegeta becomes a god of destruction. His aggression is channeled and his attacks become lethal. Most importantly, the more he takes damage, the stronger he gets. He basically becomes invincible, not in name, but in actuality. Next, we have another child prodigy, but one that suffered because of it. We're discussing Broly. With unparalleled power since birth, Broly was a threat to those around him, even at an early age. His power oozed out of him. It was so immense, and it made him cry constantly. This heavily annoyed young Prince Vegeta and created a rivalry in his head. But eventually, King Vegeta deemed Broly as too dangerous and exiled him to a remote planet called Vampa. He was left there to die, but against the odds, he survived. This led him to be one of the fiercest and most vengeful warriors. His motivations are largely based on his trauma and the betrayal he faced from his people. His powers are mostly tied to his legendary Super Saiyan transformation. This grants him abilities that surpass the regular Saiyan forms and are unique to him. Legendary Super Saiyan grants Broly an almost limitless power increase. His strength grows as the battle progresses and also as he gets angrier. His attack, called Eraser Cannon, can literally erase anything in its path.
I noticed that you love to look up in the sky at your silly old planet. But it's just a dream!
If you stand in the way, you'll be reduced to dust. On top of this overpowered transformation, Broly is physically strong. His raw strength exceeds any normal Saiyans, and his high durability allows him to withstand hard-hitting blows. He's an extremely dangerous opponent. Now that we know about the invasion team, let's insert them into the world of Invincible. There are two scenarios on how this will play out. The first is where one single Saiyan tries to carry out the invasion, and the second is where all three of them attack at once. We're going to be discussing both. For the first scenario, the Saiyan attacking Earth will be none other than Vegeta. It makes the most sense. His personality and his skill level make him a suitable fit for this job. Plus, he's tried this before.
Strength is the only thing that matters in this world. Everything else is just a delusion for the weak.
Him and Nappa came to Earth to invade it and fought Goku in the process. So what would happen if Vegeta invades the Invincible world solo? Vegeta would make a thunderous entrance and land on Earth. Let's assume this happens a month after the events of Invincible Season 3. At this point in the show, the Invincible War has happened, the planet is in ruins, and Mark has barely defeated Conquest. The GDA sensors would already have detected Vegeta coming towards Earth, and because of that, the superhero forces are gathered to receive him. The fight begins. Invincible would punch hard, Adam Eve would materialize weapons, and the Guardians would work together to land hits. But Vegeta would be unfazed. He can dodge these attacks easily, and furthermore, even if they land, he can still withstand them. He can take on Invincible, the Guardians, and Eve easily. But what if Omni-Man and Alan arrive from space at that moment? Well, this would certainly increase the chances of a win for the Invincible crew. Omni-Man would be able to land some powerful punches, along with Alan, who would get some hits in as well. But Vegeta is a seasoned fighter, and a fast one at that. After dodging or withstanding their attacks, he could use Gallic Gun and seriously injure his opponents.
I'm putting all of our hope into this one blast! Gallic, go!
On top of that, he could use his final flash to end lives. This attack can incinerate the surroundings and kill anyone in his path. But let's say the Invincible crew dodges, or that Mark and Omni-Man are able to withstand these hits. Lucky for them, the Viltrum Empire descends from the sky at this moment and also joins the fight. Now, it's an ambush situation. It's everyone against Vegeta. Thrag, Omni-Man, Invincible, and the other top Viltrumites would lead the fight. The others would assist and create opportunities to land blows. Vegeta is a master at combat, but even he would get overwhelmed fighting with seasoned conquerors like Thrag and Omni-Man. The sheer amount of attacks and the number of people charging towards him could create a situation where Vegeta becomes incapacitated and the Invincible crew wins the fight. But we're forgetting one major factor here. Vegeta hasn't used his ultimate ability, and even without that, it takes an army of Viltrumites, aliens, and superheroes to overwhelm him. So imagine if he used one of his stronger transformations, or even Ultra Ego. This would tip the scales heavily in his favor. With Ultra Ego, Vegeta becomes a god of destruction. His strength, speed, and attack damage would allow him to massacre the group. Furthermore, his power levels rise in this state with his anger and with the amount of hits he gets. This immeasurable power would allow Vegeta to not only single-handedly bring an end to the Viltrumite race, but erase Earth out of existence. He alone could complete this invasion if he wanted to. Now, that seems extremely dull for the Invincible crew, right? Well, it's about to get even worse. We're moving on to the second scenario where all three Saiyans invade at once. This would be an extremely extremely unfair battle. Vegeta alone was difficult for the Invincible crew, and now we're adding Goku and Broly into this fight. Same as before, let's assume this happens with Invincible, the Guardians, Eve, Omni-Man, Alan, and the Viltrum Empire present. Let's also throw Battle Beast into the mix. The Invasion team operates at a multi-universal level.
Will there be opponents worthy of my strength? Viltrumites? How many?
Goku and Vegeta have shattered dimensions, dodged lightspeed attacks, and fought beings that have warped space and time. Similarly, Broly went toe-to-toe with Gogeta, causing rifts in reality during their fight. While Invincible, Omni-Man, and the Viltrum Empire are very powerful in their own universe, they are at maximum planetary threats here. The battles they've fought and the feats they've achieved are nowhere near what the Saiyans have done. They cannot compete with the strength of the Dragon Ball characters. Speed is another key factor to this battle.
It will take more than head games to stop me. You may have invaded my mind and my body.
Goku, with his Ultra Instinct, and Vegeta, with his Ultra Ego, can move faster than light even in their base forms. This means they can essentially dodge any attacks that come toward them and manage to hit back twice as hard. The fastest ones in the Invincible universe are the Viltrumites, and even they can only move at hypersonic speeds, which is incredibly fast, but it is no match for the Saiyans. What the Invincible crew lacks in speed and strength, they slightly make up for in experience. The Viltrumites have brought hundreds of planets to their knees. Thrag and Omni-Man have wiped out civilizations all on their own. They're literally stacked with battle experience. On top of that, the Viltrum Empire has coordination, which can be used to plan an ambush on the Saiyans. While Goku, Vegeta, and Broly have fought extremely powerful beings, it's not in a group. They're solo fighters, and they've amassed countless wins on their own. But even though they're not coordinated or haven't fought entire civilizations, they would still overpower the Invincible crew. Moving on to perhaps the most important factor in this battle, durability. All the others are nothing without it. This matchup consists of characters that can deliver deathly blows and attacks. If you're not able to withstand them or at least dodge them, you're gonna be dead.
Your stubbornness against the inevitable killed those people. How many more need to die, Mark? It's up to you.
The Viltrumites, Invincible, Battle Beast, and Alan can survive extreme trauma and pain, but they still can be killed with enough brute force. We've seen Omni-Man kill other Viltrumites with only his hands. The Saiyans, on the other hand, are not only durable, but they can regenerate their energy mid-fight. They can withstand planet-crushing attacks and fight for hours even if they're heavily injured. On top of that, Vegeta's abilities allow him to literally get stronger the more he is hurt, and Broly can increase his strength to an immeasurable potential during battle. Goku, if he uses Ultra Instinct, will conserve energy and stamina throughout the fight. Durability-wise, it's clear the Saiyans have an upper hand. But that's not all. The strongest contenders in the Invincible universe are all ones that do close combat. Thrag, Conquest, Omni-Man, Battle Beast, and others all deal close-ranged attacks. But the Saiyans have close-ranged as well as far-ranged hits. They have a variety of deadly far-ranged attacks that can massacre hundreds in moments. Goku's Kamehameha, Vegeta's Final Flash, and Broly's Explosion Aura are a few examples. On top of that, they are combat pros. They've mastered martial arts and know how to handle close combat. Whatever way you look at it, the Invincible crew does not stand a chance here. The Saiyans are simply stronger, faster, and more durable than them. The Invincible crew is lucky that they're here to invade and not destroy, because if that was the case, the Earth would be gone in minutes. Nothing would be left of the planet, and nothing would be left for the Viltrumites to conquer. In fact, if the Saiyans continue their invasions in that world, they'd be like Viltrumites on crack. So much more powerful and so much more brutal. They would be able to bring down so many more planets and massacre entire races quicker than the Viltrum Empire ever did. So there you have it. The Saiyans versus the Invincible universe. The power gap is astronomical and victories written in stone for the Saiyans. If you like this video and want to find out if the boys could survive the Invincible universe, click the video on the screen right now.